The following is a presentation of Retro Sports Network, home of the champions of the past, present, and or future. Last night, the second of a four-game set between the St. Louis Cardinals and Philadelphia Phillies at the Vet. The Phillies won the opener Monday night, and the Cardinals are looking to hang on in the National League East. Keith Hernandez got the Cardinals on the board first, an RBI. Fielder's choice made it 1-0. Then Mike Schmidt in the fourth inning smashed an incredible home run, his 28th of the year, to tie it at 1. Bo Diaz in the seventh made it 2-1 Philadelphia as he scored Mike Schmidt on a double. Then Keith Hernandez had an RBI single in the eighth to make it 2-2. And then they battled. In the top of the 12th, Lonnie Smith singled home Ozzie Smith to make it 3-2. Then Tommy Herr reached on an error to make it 4-2. The Cardinals win last night 4-2. The Phillies are 44-30. St. Louis 40-36. Mike Schmidt's chasing Roger Maris, and everyone's chasing the Expos. As Retro Sports Network presents Major League Baseball Replay. Lunchtime edition. Today, June 30th, 1982. From Veterans Stadium in Philadelphia. It's the Philadelphia Phillies and the St. Louis Cardinals. Oops, I forgot to change something. On a 72-degree night in Philadelphia. There we go. Why, hi there, I'm Ron Juckett. Welcome. Hope you're sufficiently recovered from last night's amazing football game. First of three games for you this week on the baseball side. We'll have the Cardinals and Phillies today. We'll have the Orioles at the Tigers tomorrow night in prime time at 7 o'clock. And Thursday afternoon, we'll have the Seattle Mariners and Chicago White Sox. It's a whole bunch of second-place teams this week, and we're sure that you'll enjoy it. Next Tuesday afternoon, by the way, we've got probably a preview of the National League Championship Series. The Dodgers and Expos, and I think that game's from Montreal. But today, it's St. Louis and the Phillies. The Phillies are 6.5 back. The Cardinals, they have run out of their margin of error. They're 40-36. This is game 77 for them. They need help. They've got to win just like they did last night. And as I said, it's Forsch against Christensen going for the Phillies this afternoon. So let's get right to it, shall we? Well, first, we'll get the standings up for you. And show you why this is such a big game. How you doing, Dave Geiger? So in the National League East, Montreal is 49-22. They've won 3 straight. They've won 8 out of the last 10. They have a run differential of 132. The Phillies are playing good ball. They're playing .595 ball, but they're 6.5 back and aren't gaining any ground on the Expos. St. Louis, Pittsburgh, maybe Chicago have a chance if things go the right way. You got to make your own luck this time of year. And when you're double digits back, you need help from Montreal. In the West, the Dodgers lead is 8.5 over Atlanta. They're both 6-4 in their last 10. The Braves have gained no ground. The Giants are fighting for 500. They're 35-41. They've won their last 5 straight. In the American League East, you'll see this in prime time tomorrow. The Orioles and the Tigers are 43-27. They are fighting willing and able here. The Orioles have won their last 2. The Tigers have lost their last 2. You'll see the Friday night game in prime time. And in the West, California and Chicago, Seattle's hanging in there. 38-37. This might have been the latest ever that the Mariners have chased 500. Not out of the realm of possibility, especially with California's bullpen. But that's just what we got going for you. So let's get right to it. Larry Christensen taking his warm-up tosses. He is 8-4 on the year. This is start number 17. Yeah, Dave, I was never a big fan of the artificial surface, but in some of the stadiums it worked. 17th start for Christensen. He is 8-4 on the year with a 2.38 ERA. His last start, as we wait for things to warm up, came against the Mets on the 26th. Through 6 innings and a no decision, 8 hits, 3 runs all earned. He walked 2 and struck out 4. And threw 113 in the 3rd innings on the year, 85 hits, 33 runs, including 3 homers. 30 of those runs were earned. He's walked 26 and struck out 75. He's pitched against the Cardinals once, got a no decision. That was 8 days ago. So that would have been last Tuesday in St. Louis, and he has hammered 5 earned runs over. 5 in the 3rd. Here's a lineup for the Cardinals this evening. Lonnie Smith will lead off and play center field. Tommy Herr will bat second and play second. Keith Hernandez, the first baseman, bats third. George Hendrick, the right fielder, will go fourth. One of the Orgies, I think it's Dane, left fielder, will bat fifth. Darrell Porter, the catcher, bats sixth. Ken Oberfeld will play third and bat seventh. Ozzie Smith, the Wizard, hits .278, will bat eighth. And Bob Forsch, the pitcher, will bat ninth. He'll probably go the full game. He can go 130 pitches. Defensively for the Phillies, Gary Matthews. The Sarges are 5 and 6 in left. Bob Dernier is a 5 and 4 in center. George Vukovic, a 5 and 7 in right. Best arm is Vukovic, and that's the very definition of average in range. Mike Schmidt, Jason Roger Maris is 28 homers on the year. He's a 10 and 3rd. Turn up my mic volume. Okay. Do that. Turned down last night. Down settings. Okay, Mike Schmidt at 10 at third. Devontae Jesus is 6 at short. Manny Trio a 10 at second. Pete Rose a 6 at first, with Bo Diaz a 9 and a 4 behind the plate. So Larry Christensen's ready. Lonnie Smith is ready. Lonnie having a magnificent year. 337, 2 homers. Hello, Bobby Catalano. How are you? And 36 RBI for Mr. Smith. Hopefully that took care of the volume problem. So Christensen's ready, Smith's ready, and let's do this. And Lonnie hits a ground ball to DeJesus, moves to his right, over to Rose, 1 out. And that's how this one starts. Tommy Herr at 240, no homers, didn't hit one in the real year ever, and 20 RBI. Christensen delivers, and there's a bunt. Diaz throws it over to Trio, covering, and they got her. So her an 8-funner, but couldn't get on this time along. Here's Keith Hernandez at 290, 7 home runs and 41 RBI. So 2 out, top the first. Pitch to Hernandez, ground ball to DeJesus, over to Rose. And that will retire the sign in order. The Cardinals go down 1-2-3 after 1/2 of 1 inning. Cardinals nothing, the Phillies coming up. And Bob Forsch goes out for start number 17. He is 6 and 7 on the year with a 3.79 ERA. He must have got hurt. Wow, he pitched both ends of a doubleheader against the Cubs and took the loss in game 1. He allowed 3 runs in 2/3 of an inning and then came back and pitched the nightcap and threw an inning. So, with the walk and the strikeout. So, 6 and 7 on the year, 111 and 2/3 innings, 114 hits, 55 runs, including 9 homers, 47 earned runs. He's walked 36 and struck out 31. He started, well, that's kind of funky. This is his 4th start against the Phils. He lost to them on the 24th, 9 hits over 6 innings. So he threw twice out of the bullpen. against the Cubs. So here's the lineup you'll face. Bob Dernier will lead off and play center. Pete Rose will bat second. Gary Matthews will hit third. Mike Schmidt fourth. Bo Diaz fifth. George Vukovich, the right fielder, sixth. Manny Trio seventh. Ivan De Jesus eighth, and Larry Christensen, who got the side out in the top of the first on 6 pitches, will go ninth. Defensively for the Cardinals, Org is a 6-2 in left. Lonnie Smith is in for Willie McGee. He's a 3 and a 6 in center. George Hendrick a 5 and a 6 in right. Is that audio better, Dave? Ken Oberkveld playing the bunt that's not going to happen as a 6 at third. Ozzie Smith, of course, is a 10 at short. Tom Herr a 6 at second. And Keith Hernandez, who seems to be having quite the conversation with Bob Forsch, is a 10 at first. Darrell Porter has seen better days, a 4 and a 5 at second, or behind the plate. Let's make sure that this is even going. Oh my God, why is it so quiet? I don't understand. We'll turn it up some more. Testing, yeah. Go some more. All right, now, oh, that's better. So Dernier at 258, 5 homers and 19 RBI. Forrest is ready. And here we go. There's a ground ball, a line drive up the middle. That's a base hit. And so Dernier is on first, and the Phillies get a single to lead it off. Brings up Pete Rose. Pete at 271, 2 homers and 24 RBI. Dernier will hold on to first. And the pitch to Rose is a little ground ball down to first. Hernandez flips it to Forsch, and that's the out. Dernier moves to second base. So 1 on, 1 out for Gary Matthews. 281, 10 homers, 30 RBI. Forsch delivers, and Matthews hits one to her, over to Hernandez for the out. And Dernier with 2 out moves to third base. There's Mike Schmidt. Mike at 358. He really is overplaying. He had 35 homers on the real year, and his 28th year so far in the replay with 300 projected at-bats to go. So, but that happens when you're hitting 358. Forsch delivers, and Schmidt draws ball 4. I'll make sure that the in-game sounds didn't get jumped. Here's Bo Diaz at 284, 7 homers and 40 RBIs. Runners on first and third, and 2 out here in the bottom of the first. No score, St. Louis and Philadelphia. Here's the pitch, popped up. Porter takes off the mask, and that will retire the side. In fact, he made that right up against the screen for a web gem. How about that? So hope whoever's watching's having a good day. After 1, no runs, 1 hit, no errors. It is the Cardinals nothing, the Phillies nothing. So it'll be George Hendrick, Oregon Porter, to face Christensen here in the second. Hendrick at 281, 15 homers and 50 RBI. Here's the pitch to Hendrick. Chopper to Trio. Over to Rose for the out. 1 away. Al, Red Sox fan, how are you? Dane Org at 305. No homers, 23 RBI. Larry deals, and Org hits a ground ball to Schmidt. Over to Rose, and that's 2 out. So Christensen cruising right along. He's got the first 5 batters on 11 pitches. Here's Darrell Porter at 273, 5 homers and 26 RBI. Pitch from Christensen, ball 4. So you praise the pitcher, and then pitcher fails you. Here's Ken Obertfeld. Kenny at 307, a homer and 24 RBI. My day is going fine, Bobby. Yours? 72 degrees the weather. No wind. Well, 1 mile an hour in from right center. Pitch from Obert to Obertfeld. A ground ball to DeJesus over to Trio, and that will retire the side. No runs, 1 hit, or no hits, no errors, and no runs. Well, nothing across. After 1.5, it's the Cardinals nothing, the Phillies nothing. Now bring up George Vukovich. George at 208, 2 homers and 10 RBI. Porsche delivers, and there's a high fly ball to right. Back goes Hendrick in the corner, 1 out. Here's Manny Trio. Manny at 214. No homers and 14 RBI. Tomorrow night in prime time, it's the Orioles at the Tigers. They remain tied at the American League East. And Thursday afternoon, it'll be the Seattle Mariners and Chicago White Sox from Comiskey Park. Porsche delivers to Trio, and there's a little ground ball to her behind the back at second over to Hernandez. And that will retire the side. My wife doesn't want to hear any more baseball. The door has been shut. 2 out for Ivan DeJesus. Ivan at 245, no homers and 28 RBI. Porsche is ready. And there's a chopper up the middle. Ozzie Smith with a long throw to Hernandez. And that's 6 up, 6 down. Actually, that's 6 up, 6 down. That's the side. No runs, no hits, no errors. After 2, it's the Cardinals nothing, the Phillies nothing. And that'll bring up the Wizard, Ozzie Smith, at 278. No homers and 33 RBI. Oh, Al, sorry that you're not feeling very well, buddy. Al had a good fight last night. Roberto Duran and Alexis Arguello on his channel. Pitch to the Wizard, ball 4. Not what you want to do with a pitcher spot coming up, and Bob Force guaranteed to bunt here, 235 and 2 RBI. So Rose and Schmidt come in for the bunt. Christensen delivers, and the bunt is down. Diaz over to Trio, covering first for the out. So Ozzie moves to second. 1 out for Lonnie Smith, and through 9 batters, Larry Christensen has thrown 26 pitches, 2 1/3 innings, no hits. He has walked 2. On Lonnie Smith is 0 for 1. Christensen's pitch. There's a chopper down to Schmidt, who makes a fantastic play over to Rose for the out. So Schmidt had to make a diving stop on that nasty artificial surface, got up, and made the play. So 2 out, and Smith on second for Tommy Herr. Tommy's 0 for 1. Christensen delivers, ball 4. And so Herr is on first, runners on first and second, 2 out for Keith Hernandez. Christensen normally has good control, but he's thrown 3 walks here in the first 2 2/3 innings. Hernandez is 0 for 1. Here's the pitch. Ball 4. He's loaded the bases. So George Hendrick is up. He's a power source for the Cardinals. He's 0 for 1. And Christensen just threw 4 wide ones there. Ball 4 was down and away. Pitch to Hendrick. There's a little liner right to Rose, and the inning is over. Christensen gets out of a bases-loaded jam. No runs, no hits, no errors. The Cardinals leave 3 on. 2.5 in the books. St. Louis, nothing. Philadelphia, nothing. And it will be Larry Christensen, Bob Dernier, and Pete Rose. Christensen will have to swing the bat here. Is at 147. 2 home runs and 4 RBI. Pitch from Force struck him out. So through 9 batters, Bob Force, 2 1/3 innings, a hit. 34 pitches, A walk and a strikeout. That hit came from Bob Dernier, who singled his first time up. Again, the Cardinals play for a bunt that's not coming. Forsh's pitch, and that's a little chopper right back to Hernandez, who has to sprint back to the bag himself to beat Dernier out. 2 out. So here's Rose. He is 0 for 1. Forsh delivers, and there's a base hit left center field. Rose will hold it first, and that'll bring up Gary Matthews, who's 0 for 1. Second hit for the Phillies. Cardinals used to have bagels. Forsh delivers, and Matthews hits this one into center field. That's going to drop in front of Lonnie Smith. Rose goes to third, and the Phillies have runners on the corners. 2 outs for Mr. Schmidt, who walked his first time up. So a jam here for Forsh in the third inning. Here's the pitch. Ball 4. And so Schmidt takes a 3-1 pitch for a ball, and that'll bring up Bo Diaz, who is 0 for 1. Pitch to Diaz is a line drive left center. That's going to drop. Lonnie gets it on a hop. Rose will score. Matthews scores. Schmidt holds it third, and it's 2-0 Philadelphia. You can't get away from the vet. Didn't think of that. I didn't know where this game was going to be. I knew I had picked it, Dave. But whether it was going to be in St. Louis or Philadelphia, it turns out we're in Philadelphia. No, you can't get away. You can't get away from crappy artificial turf or sugar golden crisp. Here is George Vukovich. George is 0 for 1. Clouds are above me, so I'm always under the weather. Dave, you should release the greatest hit of your own puns. Yay, Al is on with ID Jester tonight. Here's the pitch to Vukovich, and there's a high fly ball to left. Org is there, and that retires the side. Not before the Phillies put 2 on the board. 2 runs, 3 hits, no errors. After 3, it's the Phillies 2, the Cardinals nothing. Yeah, somebody's feeling okay. ID, let me know if he's not. And you and I can just chat about things if you want to do a show. So let's see how Al's feeling first. So it'll be Dane Org, Daryl Porter, and Ken Oberkfell for the Cardinals here in the 4th. Along with everyone else, Org is 0 for 1. Pitch to Dane. There's a base hit in the right center. First hit for the Cardinals. And so that'll bring up Daryl Porter. Little line drive to Vukovich that fell right in front of Vukovich. Ah. That's right. Bobby should do a live chat with ID. And hopefully Al's feeling better. Daryl Porter walked his first time up. Christensen uncharacteristically wild. 4 walks and no strikeouts. Pitch to Porter. There's a high fly ball to shallow right center. Vukovich comes in for the out. And there's 1 away, top the 4th. Phillies got 2 in the bottom of the 3rd. Here's Ken Oberkfell. He's 0 for 1. Here's the pitch to Oberkfell, and that's going to drop for a base hit in front of Matthews in left field. Matthews got a late jump and couldn't get there, and so that kind of draws some oohs and ahs, and so Org is on second, Oberkfell on first for Ozzie Smith, who walked his first time up. What time tomorrow night, Dave? Pitch from Christensen is a high fly ball to right. Vukovich is there. Org will hold at second, and there's 2 out. I kind of have an idea of who it is. It's someone that was kind of a friend in the beginning. Ask me when I'm not on the air. But I have a good idea of who it is. Forsh will have to bat here, 2 out, 235. He had to, when he was first up, he sacrificed? Yep. Sack bunt in the 3rd. And here he's got a chance to bring home a run. All right. And forced ground ball to Rose, takes it to first, and that will retire the side. The Cardinals strand 2, no runs. They finally get some hits, no errors. 3.5 in the books. It is the Phillies 2, the Cardinals nothing. So Dave is going to try and do game 2 of our Friends of the Community Series at 8:30. We're shooting for 7 o'clock tomorrow night for Baltimore and Detroit. Trollish downvoter, be prepared. So Manny Trio is 0 for 1. It'll be Trio, DeJesus, and Christensen for the Phillies here in the 4th. Yeah, it happens. Just get one. Pitch to Trio is a fly ball to center. Back goes Lonnie Smith, who makes the catch for the out. 1 out for DeJesus, who's 0 for 1. Phillies got a 2-run single from Bo Diaz in the 3rd. That's how they have their runs. Game 75 for the Phils, 76 for the Cards. Philadelphia 6.5 behind Montreal. The Cards are 10.5 behind the Expos. Montreal is the best record in baseball. On this 30th of June, DeJesus line drive into center field. That's going to drop for a base hit. And so 1 out for Christensen, who struck out. The only strikeout for 4 is his last time up. And he will drop 1 down. Hernandez and Oberfeld come in. Porter throws it to her covering, and there's 2 out. But DeJesus is on second. So game 2 of the Friends of the Channel series. Tomorrow night, approximately between 8 and 8:30 Eastern. Wife's off to work. Doors back open again. Following the Tigers and the Orioles from Tiger Stadium in Detroit. So that brings up Bob Dernier. Bob Forrest has thrown 70 pitches through 18 batters. Thank you very much. 3 2/3 innings, 5 hits, no home runs. Both runs are earned. He's walked 2 and struck out 1. Dernier, move the mouse in the right spot, Ron, is 1 for 2. He's got a single. One of the 5 Philly hits. Forrest delivers. Ground ball to Hernandez. Takes it to the bag himself, and that will retire the side. Phillies go down. No runs, a hit, and no errors. We've played 4 at the Vet. Philadelphia 2, St. Louis nothing. Dave Gardner was going to do his live bathing suit try-on video tonight. And then his channel will be banned for inappropriate paleness immediately thereafter. But if you're looking to do the white balance on your camera or your television, Dave Gardner's the way to go. And so, just for that, I'm sure that the Bruins will be playing the Canadiens again, and the goalies will be out of the Habs net. They'll bring up Lonnie Smith here to start the 5th. Smith, Hearn, Hernandez. Lonnie 0 for 2. Through 18 batters, Christensen has thrown 63 pitches, 4 innings, 2 hits, and 4 walks. Pitch from Christensen is a fly ball to center. Dernier, 1 out. That would be exciting to watch. Oh, wow. Yeah, we don't have the baseball demos that started playing Action PC Baseball, and he just had a new neat thing. An umpire challenge, overturned a home run, and called a foul. That is cool. If you're playing a season that does that. Tommy Hearn is 0 for 1 with a walk. Christensen's pitch is a ground ball foul first base side. And the count is 2-2. My cat could do better than Davey Martinez, Dave. But please keep us posted because it's such a frustrating team. Well, it's always on demand, Mr. Gardner. 2-2 to her. There's a little looper that's going to drop in front of Vukovic, and the Cardinals have a runner on with 1 out. Keith Hernandez is 0 for 1 with a walk. Also now the tying run. Larry delivers. Struck him out. He got him on a 1-2 fastball. Strike 3 called. And so 2 out for George Hendrick, who's 0 for 2. By the way, if you're watching this before 7 o'clock Tuesday night, the 2nd of April, Mr. Bryce Harper makes his return to Washington tonight on MLB Network. And Max Scherzer's on the mound for the Nats. A good time will be had by all. Throw to first. Herr is back. No, they got him! Ha ha ha! Herr was running in, 82% chance of taking the base, so they threw over and picked him off. No runs, no hits, or one hit, no errors. Halfway home, it's the Phillies 2, the Cardinals nothing. R.D. Jester says, don't worry, Dave. I'll ship out a copy of the video to you. Just send me a check for $44.95 and it's yours. Oh, I would hope that Scherzer brushes him back. Here's Rose, 1 for 2. He scored and singled. So, let's do the in-game box score. We'll start with that as I remind everyone again that tomorrow night, Orioles and Tigers from Tiger Stadium at 7. At noon on Dave Gardner's channel this week on the E. On Thursday afternoon, it'll be the Mariners and the White Sox from Comiskey, as you look at the pitching numbers. And on Friday, the next Patriots challenge, I might be fully recovered from last night's game. It'll be the 78 Steelers and 07 Patriots. I said Rose is 1 for 2. Here's the pitch from Forsch, and there's a line drive right to her for the out. So 1 out for Gary Matthews, who singled and scored. In the third, he's 1 for 2. Pitch from Forsch. Ground ball foul, first base side. That finds the tarp, as a matter of fact. 70 degrees, and the wind's now blowing in at 8 from dead center. 0-2 count. Pitch from Forsch. Popped up left side. Obergfell by the Cardinal dugout. Nope, that's going to be someone from Chester, Pennsylvania, made that catch. And the count is 0-2. Here's the pitch. Fly ball to right. Hendrick makes the catch. 2 out for Mike Schmidt. As you can see, 28 home runs on the year. Keeps this up. This is game 78 for the Phillies. He could give, if he keeps on the pace, Roger Maris a run. Pitch to Schmidt. And there's a base hit in the left center field. Lonnie picks it up on a hop in front of Ozzie. And no, Schmidt will not go for 2. So that's the 6th hit for the Phillies. Here's Bo Diaz. He is 1 for 2. He drove in both the Philly runs in the third. I don't know what. Oh. I was talking about payout pitch. Okay. So Diaz, 1 for 2, and the big RBI hit in the third. Here's the pitch, and there's a line drive to center. Back goes Lonnie Smith. He'll corral it, and that retires the side. No runs, no hits, or 1 hit, no errors. After 5, it's still Philadelphia 2, St. Louis nothing. This is the lunch replay from 1982 Major League Baseball right here on Retro Sports Network. Payoff pitch is a wonderful game. I wish there was a helper for it. George Hendrick, Garth Ord, and Darrell Porter here in the 6th inning for St. Louis. Hendrick is 0 for 2. Christensen cruising right along here. Throwing a shutout despite the fact he's walked 4. Here's the pitch. And that's a line drive to right, a laser beam right in the waiting glove of George Vukovic for the out. 1 out. It's Dane, Ron, not Garth. Garth plays for the Blue Jays. Dane plays for the Cardinals. And he's 1 for 2 with the single. Oh, your Strout order. Yes. Yeah. Sorry about that. How you doing, Mr. Mike? All goes well. I forgot Mr. Mike is my guest on the Ron Zucker Show Thursday night. Pitch from Christensen is a fly ball to center. Back goes to near to the track, and he makes the catch for the 2nd out. Daryl Porter's 0 for 1 with a walk. What a quick game. Christensen delivers, and Porter slaps that one in the hole on the left side, and that's a hit. So that's only the 4th hit for the Cardinals, and here's Ken Oberkfell. He's 1 for 2. He's got himself a single. Pitch from Christensen. Oberkfell. Oh, Porter was going to steal, and he didn't get a good jump, so it's ball 1. And Whitey looks a little miffed in the St. Louis dugout. Here's the pitch to Oberkfell. There's a base hit left side. Again, between DeJesus and Schmidt. And the Cardinals have 2 on and 2 out here on the top of the 6th for Ozzie Smith, who is 0 for 1 with a walk. So Christensen now has allowed 5 hits and walked 4. Larry deals, and the Wizard pops this one into shallow right. Vukovich is there, and that retires the side. No runs, 2 hits, no errors. 5.5 in the books. It's the Phillies 2, the Cardinals nothing. I think you can. I'm not sure. As far as infield shifts and action PC, I think you can in more recent years. Or set it. I think I didn't set it as an option. I don't know. With George Vukovich, he's 0 for 2. Trio and DeJesus to follow. Pitch from 4, shows a ground ball up the middle. Over to Hernandez for the out. And that's 1 out for Manny Trio, who's 0 for 2. And so, yeah, I'm not sure if it does or not. 4, pitch, little number down to over to Hernandez, and that's 2 out. So in a game that the Cardinals really need, they really need to put some pressure on the Phillies in second place. They're down 2-0 with 2 outs in the bottom of the 6th. Upend DeJesus is 1 for 2. Just infield depth, yeah. Pitch popped up left side. Borg on the line makes the catch. No runs, no hits, no errors. After 6, it's still the Phillies 2. The Cardinals nothing. And Bob Forsch will face Larry Christensen. Larry getting the fatigue warning as we start the 7th. Forsch 0 for 1 with the sacrifice. And the pitch is a pop-up or popped up to center field. Dernier has got it 1 away. A nosebleed seat here. Got to be in that 3rd deck, so above the press box, and it just makes for an awkward angle at times. Lonnie Smith is 0 for 3. Through 27 batters, Larry Christensen 6 in the 3rd innings, 5 hits, 4 walks, and the 1 strikeout. He is not allowed to run. Here's the pitch to Lonnie, ball 4. So that's the 6th walk. And I'll bring up Tommy Herr. He has walked and singled. He's 1 for 2. D. Scott Howard. How are you? 2 games left tonight. Jester's Bo Jackson inside pitch replay. It's always good when you finish a season. Throw to first, and Lonnie's back. So 1 on, 1 out for her. And he draws ball 4. So runners on 1st and 2nd for Keith Hernandez, who has walked and struck out. He's 0 for 2. 6 walks for Christensen, and he's on pretty thin ice now. Pickoff play to 2nd, and Lonnie's back. Christensen's pitch. Hernandez hits a base hit into right center field. Smith will score. Herr goes into 3rd, and that will do it for Christensen. We got a pitching change. This game is coming to you from the vet in Philadelphia. It'll be Porfi Altamirano, who is 1-0 on the year. This is his 13th relief appearance. He has an ERA of 1.15. He went 2 nights ago. He went in the opener Monday against the Cardinals, allowed 3 hits and a run. So overall, 15 and 2/3 innings, 12 hits, 3 runs, 2 earned. He has walked 1 and struck out 5. Infield will play halfway. Hendrick is 0 for 3. George is grounded to second, line to first, and line to right. Tying run on third is her. Go ahead run is Hernandez on first. And here's the pitch. There goes Hernandez, and it's foul on the third base line. So the Cardinals had to hit and run on. Throw to first. Hernandez is back. Infield still halfway. 2-2 to Hendrick. Pitch from Amalto Romano. There's a ground ball up the middle. Trio is going to try to go home. And can't get to the throw to Diaz is not in time. And we're tied at 2. So the Cardinals challenged the Phillies with that infield defense, and the Cardinals won. It's just RBI single for Hendrick, and here comes Dana Org, who's 1 for 3. With a single. Runners on first and second, 1 out. No one was surprised that the ID Jesters won yesterday. Here's the pitch. Org hits one right back to the pitcher. To Trio for 1. Back over to Rose, and Philadelphia has turned it. But not before the Cardinals have tied the game. 2 runs on a hit, no errors. After 6.5, it's St. Louis 2, Philadelphia 2. And that will bring up Porfi Altamirano. I kind of want to save the pen. And with nobody out, I think we're going to bat him. He's 1 for 4 in the real year, so you never know. Here's the pitch. Ground ball to Oberkfell. He runs down the line, but that won't, or Smith rather, and that's an out. No, it was Oberkfell. So your basic ground ball to third, and so Force is now through 27 batters on 6 in the third inning, 6 hits, 2 walks and a strikeout, 98 pitches. Bob Dernier is 1 for 3. 1 out, bottom of the 7th, and a 2-2 tie. And Dernier slaps this one in those shallow left field for a base hit. So that's a 7th hit for the Phillies. Brings up Rose, who's 1 for 3. He is singled and scored. Dernier is going to try to steal. Porter and Forge go through the signs. There goes Dernier. The throw down to Ozzie is not in time, and that's 24 for Bob Dernier in 1982. That's right, I should put my Mets uniform on. Baseball demos. Ironic, that was the 2 Earls that were the pitchers of record. Uncle Ronnie shutout innings, but like Jacob deGrom, no run support. So the go-ahead run is on second, and Rose at the plate. It's 0-1 count. And he chops that one foul first base side, and the count goes to 0-2. Dernier has a 79% chance of stealing third. What do you think we're going to do, boys and girls? We're going. The throw down to third. Dernier's in there. Head first slide. Rose strikes out, so there's 2 out. But Dernier takes third, and that's 25 for Bob. You get that much of a chance to steal third, you take it. So the go-ahead run sits 90 feet away. Make sure I don't have the mouse on the steal button. And that'll bring up Gary Matthews, who has singled and scored. He's 1 for 3. Here's the pitch. Matthews hits a fly ball to right center. Lonnie Smith is there, and Dernier stranded at third. No runs, a hit, no errors. After 7, St. Louis 2, Philadelphia 2. It'll be Porter. Look at the right column on. Oberkfell and Ozzie Smith to face Altamirano here in the top of the 8th. And Porter is 1 for 2 with a walk. Here's the pitch. And there's a fly ball to center. Back goes Dernier. He had to actually travel a bit to get that for the first half. And Oberkfell is 2 for 3. A single twice, and that's about it. Altamirano has retired all 3 men he's faced. Here's the pitch. There's a line drive into center field, and so I jinxed the pitcher, and Oberkfell's on. He's the go-ahead run with 1 out in the top of the 8th. Here's the Wizard, Ozzie Smith, 0 for 2 with a walk. Oberkfell probably not going to go anywhere. Here's the pitch. Chopper to Trio, there should be 2. DeJesus at short for 1, over to Rose. And they turn it. They got it. No runs, 1 hit, no errors. 7.5 in the books. It's still the Cardinals 2, the Phillies 2. And the heart of the Phillies lineup right now, Schmidt, Bo Diaz, and George Vukovich to face Forsch here in the 8th. Schmidt has walked twice in single. Like he's going to go heat up his lunch. Let's put 17 runs on the board for the Phillies while he's gone. Or not. Here's the pitch. Schmidt hits this one into left center. That's a base hit. So Schmidt hitting .364 now with that single. 2 runs, 7 hits, no errors for St. Louis. 9 left on. 2 runs, 8 hits, no errors. 7 left on so far for the Phillies. Oberkfell and Hernandez guard the line for Bo Diaz, who was 1 for 3. He had both of the Philly RBIs in the 3rd with a single. Forsch delivers. Fly ball, left center. Smith has it for the out, and Schmidt will hold it first. 1 out for George Vukovich, who is 0 for 3. That should be, you should get a hold of Robbie to find out. Robbie or whoever is starting for Game 3. Pitcher or manager should pick the part. I tried, I wouldn't go Baker Bowl. There's too many. That's too big. They're too small. I would think Braves Field in Boston, that place was huge. Because you don't want power hitters to do good things. Here's Vukovich. Hits a little nubber down to Ozzie Smith. He's only got to play at first, maybe. Hernandez on the bag, then they got Vukovich. So Schmidt goes to second. 2 out for Trio, who is 0 for 3. DJ John, good morning to you. How are you? 2-2, Cardinals and Phillies. 2 outs, bottom of the 8th. Schmidt on second. Trio chops one up the middle. To Hernandez, and that will retire the side. We go to the top of the 9th. No runs, no hit, or 1 hit, no errors. It's the Cardinals 2, the Phillies 2. So it'll be Bob Forsch who's going to get pinch hit for, I would imagine. Altamirano, anything in 2/3 and is allowed a hit. But right now, he's at least going to pitch till he gets a base runner. And it'll be Steve Braun. B-R-A-U-N. Pinch hitting for the Cardinals. He is 9 for 30 on the year with a double and an RBI. Does not have home run power. Here's the pitch. And there's a ground ball to Trio. Moves to his left over to first for the out. Actually, moves to his left. So 1 out for Lonnie Smith, who has walked and scored. That came in the 7th. And is 0 for 3. Here's the pitch. And there's a chopper into right field in the hole. And the Cardinals have the go-ahead run on. So for Tommy Herr, you want the lefty. And that lefty's going to be Tug McGraw. So Porfy did his job. McGraw 1-1 in 82 with a 4.50 ERA. In 6 innings, he's allowed 8 hits. This is only his 5th appearance of the year. He must have been injured and didn't come back till the 21st of June. But believe it or not, this is his 3rd appearance against the Cardinals. Last time out, an inning and a strikeout with 1 hit. He is not allowed a homer. He's allowed 3 runs all earned. Walked 1 and struck out 5. Lonnie Smith has 36 steals on the year. And Gene, do you pinch hit for her? I guess you do. Whitey Herzog's going to play for the percentages. And so Tennis at 271, 2 homers and 7 RBI will bat. So 1 out, top the 9th, 2-2 to score. McGraw delivers, and Tennis hits this one into left field. Matthews bobbles the ball and can't hang on. And so that's an E7, and Lonnie goes to second. Tennis is on first. And so 1 out and 2 on for Keith Hernandez, who was 1 for 3. He has singled, walked, struck out, and he drove in his 42nd run. Yeah, well, there's no manual engine with Action PC. You're right. It would make for a very easy way to do it. Pitch to from McGraw. Hernandez right back to the middle. The trio for 1. Over to Rose. Hernandez running, and he beats it out. And so they get the force at second, but Hernandez is on first. With 2 out, here is George Hendrick. And so Lonnie Smith is the go-ahead run at third. It'll be Kenny Castro. No, it's not Kenny Castro for the Phillies in the 9th. It'll be Ivan DeJesus, the pinch hitter, and Bob Dernier to face the Cardinal reliever. But it is Ken Castro in the chat. Pitch to Hendrick. It's a base hit in the right field. Lonnie Smith will score. Hernandez goes into third. You can hear the cheering all the way from Bradenton. The Cardinals go ahead 3-2. And I'll bring up Dane Org, who was 1 for 4. He is singled and grounded into a double play. McGraw wipes his brow. 67 degrees, the wind blowing in from 5. And Julio Gonzalez is going to pinch hit. So Whitey goes for the matchup again. Gonzalez at 286 on the year with a homer and 7 RBI and 56 at-bats. 2 out, runners on the corners. McGraw delivers, and Gonzalez hits one to Trio's. Going to run in for it. Banger throw to Rose, and they got him. So Bruce Sutter is in to lock this down for the Cardinals. After 8.5. 1 run, 2 hits, and a bad error. It's the Cardinals 3, the Phillies 2. So let's tell you about Bruce Sutter. He is 0-4 on the year with 13 saves and a 3.82 ERA. This is his 33rd relief appearance. He went last night and got the save. 1 inning and 1 walk in 33 innings. He's like literally reading a record here. He's allowed 33 hits, 3 home runs, 18 runs overall, 14 earned. He's walked 10 and struck out 17. Mike Ramsey, by the way, comes into play second. He's an 8. And Bruce Sutter will bat second, as Steve Braun stays in the game in the 9 hole and is a 2-2 and left. So that outfield defense for the Cardinals is shaky at best. DeJesus pinch hitter and Dernier here in the 9th. DeJesus 1 for 3. Has a single. Here's the first pitch from Sutter. Ground ball to Hernandez. Sutter covering, 1 out. The crowd did not like that. So the bench here for the Phillies is rather dim. but it will be Greg Gross at 329. No homers and 14 RBI. Hopes to get on as a tying run. 3 runs, 9 hits, no errors for the Cardinals. 2 runs, 8 hits, and an error for the Phillies. Pitch from Suter is a ground ball to third. Oberkfell over to Hernandez, and there's 2 out. So the last chance is Bob Dernier. So Suter is retired the first 2 on 9 pitches. Dernier is 2 for 4. He has singled twice and stolen 2. Stole second and third. Here's the pitch from Suter. Ball 4. And so the Phillies have the tying run on and 2 out. And here's Rose. Rose is 1 for 4. He has struck out, singled, and scored. Dernier has the odds if he wants to steal, but if he's out, that's the game. But if you look at the outcome box, they're going to hit and run. Here's the pitch. Long drive, good night, game over. Pete Rose has walked it off with a 2-run shot to right center. Would you believe that? The Phillies will win this game 4-3. And Bruce Sutter stalks back to the dugout with an 0-5 record. I can't show it to you because it's already over, but that was an absolute no-doubter in the right center field. You can hear the fireworks behind me. The Phillies will win this game 4-3. So there you have it. The walk to Dernier and then the decision to hit and run. Because look, if Rose makes contact and does something with it, Dernier could have gone to third. Rose made contact with it. He just crushed it out of the stadium. And so the Phillies will walk it off 4-3. 3 runs, 9 hits, no errors for the Cardinals. 4 runs, 9 hits, 1 error for the Phillies. So the Cardinals took the lead in the 9th on a single by George Hendrick. And then the Phillies smashed their dreams with a 2-run homer from Pete Rose. So Tug McGraw gets the win. Altamirano gets charged with the blown save. McGraw gets the win. He goes to 2-1, and Bruce Sutter has to let 7 saves escape his grasp. And the Cardinals fall to 40-37. So for Rose, that was big. I'll leave that on there for a second. That was his 3rd home run of the year, and the 4th allowed by Sutter. And your Miller Lite MVP, guess who? Peter Edward Rose. Wowzers. Yep. Hey, ID, the Rams won last night. Oh, goodness gracious. Let's do the rest of the day in baseball while ID chews on that. That's it. We are done with the month of June. And so we're 2 weeks away from the All-Star game, believe it or not. All right. Cubs beat the Pirates 13-5. Lee Smith was a starter now when he goes to 6-4. Ryan Sandberg 5 for 5 with 2 doubles and a stolen base. Seattle beats Toronto 5-2. Jim Beatty goes to 8-1. Richie Zisk with his 8th home run. Thursday afternoon, they're on this channel. The Expos have won 50 games. They beat the Mets 8-2. Bill Gullickson goes to 7-5. Tim Raines with his 4th home run and 2 stolen bases. Brewers beat the Yankees 5-3. Randy Lurch goes to 7-3. Atlanta shuts out Houston. Phil Niekro, by the way, today is Phil Niekro's 80th birthday. He only looks 80 on his 82 cards. He goes to 5-5. Glenn Hubbard with the 7th home run. Orioles beat the Indians 4-0. Mike Flanagan wins his 10th. Goes the distance, strikes out 3. Detroit keeps pace. They beat the Red Sox 6-1. Dan Petrie goes to 7-6. Bruce Hurst takes the loss. He goes to 2-6. Kansas City 7, Oakland 3. Paul Splittorff with the win. He goes to 5-3. White Sox beat the Twins 5-2. Lamar Hoyt gets the 6th of the year. Kenny Forge pitched for the Angels, and the Angels shut out the Rangers 5-0. Bobby Grich 4 for 5 with 2 RBI. Doubleheader in Los Angeles. I got to scroll from that. First, I'll tell you the Reds beat the Giants 7-1. Then the doubleheader. The Dodgers and Padres split. Los Angeles wins the opener 7-4. And then the Padres won the nightcap 5-1. So, let me show you some standings real quick. The All-Star game is indeed Montreal. And do you guys, who is still there, if you're still there, do you want that as a day game or as a night game? Do you want that a lunchtime game? It would be 2 weeks from today, I think. But let me know, do you want that as a day game, a noon game, or a special primetime game? As you look at the standings, as of the end of June, the Braves have some work to do. They are 8 behind Los Angeles in the National League West. Philadelphia keeps pace with the Expos in the East. It's 6.5. The Phillies are having a good year. Cardinals fall to 12.5 back. They are going to need help. In the West, California leads Chicago by 3, Kansas City by 5, and Seattle by 7.5. And in the East, Baltimore and Detroit are 6-2 and even. Milwaukee and Toronto are also even at 38 and 35. Forget where the Red Sox are. They suck. Lunch or breakfast? You can post that. Won't lunch. Okay, so 2 votes for lunch. So right now, I'll mention it a couple times, but that will be the plan. So 2 weeks from today, the 49th All-Star Game from Montreal between the National League and the American League. All right, there you have it. Chat with ID tonight is Mr. Red Sox fan. Let's see. Tomorrow, this week on the E with Dave on Dave Gardner's channel at noon. 7 o'clock, it'll be the Orioles and the Tigers from Tiger Stadium. 8:30, Game 2 of the Friends of the Community Series on Baseball Demos channel. Thursday at lunch, Seattle and the White Sox. And then hopefully Mr. Mike and I will chat Thursday night at a time to be determined. Thank you so much for watching. Hit that like button, subscribe. I'm Ron Juckett. We'll talk to you the next time.